Hello everybody and welcome to Sin City Living. As you can tell, my name is Jason and I will be introducing today's video. So I'm going to try and keep this a little bit shorter as I go through the usual spiel that most of you guys are fairly familiar with. Guys, if you have any strategies, anything you would like us to film, any suggestions, any ideas, questions, please email us at sincitylivingLV@gmail.com. We haven't gotten a strategy sent to us in a few weeks, so I love shooting these videos for you guys. Please send them to us. And of course, our usual shout out of appreciation to our patrons. Thank you very much. I hope you guys are enjoying the how to deal the full dice, full craps instructional videos that we are putting out for you guys, the whole course. Putting them out 2 a week, so I hope you guys are enjoying them. If anybody's interested, just check the description down below. And otherwise, what I want to say is we have live streams. Live streams are coming very soon. The equipment is in the mail. It is on the way. So I don't want to take up too much time here. There is going to be a lot of information about the live stream, how to sign up, how to join us on our craps tournaments or anything else. Just check the end of the video. Even if you don't watch the full video, skip over to the end. At the end of the video, I'm going to have a discussion on a lot more detail on the live streams. I'm going to put that in the next couple weeks worth of videos. So please keep an eye, guys. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and jump straight into today's video. So for this video, I want to talk about craps tournaments. There are such a thing. A friend of mine plays in them all the time down on Center Strip, gets invited. They're invitation only generally, but he gets invited to them. And we've done a couple little ones here on this table. And once we start our live streaming soon, we'll definitely be doing craps tournaments. And I wanted to go over some of the strategies on why craps tournaments are different and how you can play them and what some of the rules are. Now, I'm going to do them a little bit different. When I do our craps tournament, I'm probably going to do 2. I'm probably going to do one that is a weekly craps tournament that we will have a finite winner every single week. So it's going to be much more similar to tournaments out in at the casinos. And then I'm going to do another one where it could go multiple episodes or much longer to determine a winner, because I'm going to go basically you just play until you are out of money. And the reason for that is because the typical craps tournaments, with the way the rules are designed, the play style is completely different. So I expect a completely different play style for the weekly craps tournament. But for the one that's just going to go until your bankroll ends, I'm thinking I'm much more likely to see some regular strategies, some normal stuff, the normal kind of play that we would see on the tables. So let's go over it. Well, typical craps tournaments on the Strip, they usually run 30 rolls. 30 rolls, which is, I kind of find it amusing because a place that I used to work with that have their own channel, they used to do a 10-minute blackjack challenge, and then I suggested doing a 30 roll craps challenge. And after I left them, they ended up coming out with a 30 roll craps challenge. It's now one of their big things. So most tournaments, they run 30 rolls. 30 rolls of the dice. They keep track of it, and that's it. At the end of the 30 rolls, after the 30th roll, all the money's counted down, including taking your bets down. And counting basically all the money you have available gets counted down to determine who's the winner. Now, some of the other things that tend to be a little bit different, and I will probably do it different, probably do it this way for the weekly tournament, probably do it regular for the one that doesn't have a specific time limit. And that is that buys and lays don't have a vig. And they do that to speed up the game and to speed up the payouts. You're not worrying about paying out $49 or $78 or $98. You just, here's 100, here's 80, here's 50. Same thing with the lays. Instead of, give me a, $102 no 10, just throw me $100, say you're laying the 10, boom, we're done. It'll pay $50, not going to worry about a vig. So that's one of the things with the tournaments. The other thing with the tournaments is they tend to go in order. They'll let people will make their bets in order, and they'll rotate the order around. And what that does is that prevents somebody who, say, has a chip lead from just copying the bets of whoever's in the second place spot. It will force people to actually make their own bets independent of everybody else. And then the final thing that a lot of tournaments do, and I will not be doing this part, is that when they get down to the last roll, they take everybody's bets down, and they'll go in order and have each person place brand new bets. That is one time that you can come behind a number, even though normally you can't, but that you could have just a straight DC behind the number and things along those lines. So what do you tend to see a lot with craps tournaments? Well, craps tournaments, just like blackjack tournaments, you see a whole different style of play because you're no longer playing against the house, and you're no longer trying to win money, waiting for that exceptional roll. Typically, you're waiting for the exceptional roll, but with a craps tournament, you have a finite number of rolls, so you need to win as much as you can within those rolls. And you don't care about beating the house, you care about beating the other players. Maybe everybody loses, but you lost the least. So you tend to see very, very different things. First off, you see a lot of regression strategies. You'll see a lot of players that say you start off with, I don't know, a $2,000 bankroll. You might see a lot of players that will say, give me a, we'll let's see what number we might get. Let's say we get a 9. So you'll see a player say, you know what, give me a $600 8. Okay, cool. And they might have a pass line, some other stuff. And the 8 rolls, and you might see him say, take me down to 300. Because they just won $500. They 400 technically, but they started out with one $500 chip, now they have 2. Regress it down, it's still decent, and now they can press it up, but they regress down and pull back a decent amount of money. You tend to see that a lot in craps tournaments. Another thing you tend to see a lot in craps tournaments, you tend to see a lot of hardway parlays and hops. You see a lot of hops, horn bets and $25 12 and stuff like that. I see a lot of these hop bets because you really want to find that one hit, basically that one hit wonder, that you can take a significant payout for a small amount of money and then put it back into something else. You do tend to see with a craps tournament, tend to see a lot of people play the don'ts. You see a whole lot of come out rolls that look like this. And then, once a 9 is set, if the 9 is set, maybe you'll see the player do this. But what you also may see is you may see 3 players that play the don'ts, and so, which means that the next player, the 4th player, even if they wanted to play the don'ts, they may end up going on the pass line because they know in order to win, they can't just match what the other people are betting. They have to, in order to win, they know that they have to have the other people lose and they win. So even though they don't really want to, they have to take that gamble and they have to go to the opposite side that those other players are playing at. So you tend to see a lot of you're not so much betting what you hope the dice are going to do, especially in the latter part of it. When you're down to like the last 10, 15 rolls, when you're halfway or more through the tournament, you tend to see a lot more people that are betting based on what the other players have already bet, which is another reason why it requires people to go in order, and they'll move that order around. It's just like moving the dealer puck around in a poker game, so everybody is under the button at some point. And that way it's fair. It's fair for everybody. You can't just, like I said, just keep matching other players' bets or something along those lines. That's really, really frustrating, really irritating. So you'll see this kind of stuff. Oh man, everybody's betting the don'ts. I'm slightly down. I better bet the blight side, just so I can try and catch up. If the winner hits. If it doesn't, you're already losing. So you need to do something in order to pass them. And you see a whole bunch of Hail Marys near the end, especially the players that are down money. You start seeing a whole bunch of really oddball Hail Mary bets that go into play. Don't see a whole lot of come bets and stuff like that. People don't want to take the time to wait for a number to hit twice because, again, this is a finite number of rolls. Finite number of rolls. So you want to get paid when a number hits right away. So you don't see a lot of come bets. Maybe you would see a put bet. I've only seen that once, and that was because there, of course, is a table limit, a maximum bet. So they had the place bet at the table max. So then they did a put bet right behind it with the table max odds because they knew they needed to get a big payout. They were really hoping for that big payout. You see the occasional chunk it in the field. You're really going for it. You just got to do something, and or you're just matching somebody else's field bet just to try and keep up, or maybe just slightly higher field bet just to try and keep up. Like I said, mostly you tend to see a lot of regressions. You tend to see a lot of one hit, take it down, move it to something else, because again, finite number of rolls. You don't have a lot of rolls that you can play around with. So not a lot of come bets. Of course, the pass line bets. Now, one thing about it, because it's a tournament and you need to encourage people to actually play, there's usually a requirement of a minimum amount on the pass line every single roll. Doesn't matter if you're the shooter or not. You have to have X amount minimum bet in the game per shooter. So that prevents someone from taking a chip lead and just sitting there, or prevents somebody from not playing at all. Because there's certainly a chance that, you know, if everyone starts out with, say, $1,000 in chips, certainly a chance that you could just sit there and hold on to your $1,000 and 20 rolls in be the chip lead or second place and then start playing. So they prevent that from happening by requiring you to play a little bit. And when I do a tournament, when I do the weekly tournament, that's going to be, I'm probably not going to do 30 rolls. I'm probably going to do like 1 hour. That may actually turn out to be 30 rolls, or it could even be less. But because of the live stream, because of my limited time, I'm going to have to make sure that I set it as a specific amount of time. So when I do the live stream craps tournaments, they're probably going to be an hour. But then I'm going to have a second one, maybe that day, maybe on a different day, that, like I said, it's just going to keep on going until we have a winner, till everybody runs out of money except for one person, which is going to require pass line bets. And just like a poker tournament, I may actually increase that. I look at the pass line bet. The mandatory pass line bet is the ante. So I may actually increase that as time goes by. So, you know, that's covering craps tournaments and tournament play and some of the differences and things that you may or may not see. And thank you guys very, very much for watching. If you guys have any questions, let me know. If I missed something, didn't cover something you were curious about, let me know by all means. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching. We appreciate all of you. Bye now. Okay guys, so as I promised at the end of the videos, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the live stream and how it's going to work. So the first thing is, if you're interested in being one of the players for our craps tournaments, which is we're going to have every single week, please email us at sincityliving.lv@gmail.com. I need the email addresses and want to know who is interested so that we can get it set up and we can select it. I'm going to have, the first round is going to be 16 players. There'll be 4 players per week. The 5th week is going to be the 4 champions from the previous weeks to get an ultimate champion. Haven't decided yet what the prize will be. Maybe I'll see if I can pick up another one of these lights. But we'll have some sort of prize for our champion. So please, if you're interested, email us. I want to pick the first 8 players, the first 2 weeks worth of players, so that we'll have the first 4 ready for the first week, and the other 4 will be kind of backup, just in case somebody has connection issues or something comes up and they're not able to play that week. Then I've got the other players on standby, so I can just bump one of them up or maybe shift the first person down or something along those lines. The main tournament is going to be Thursdays at 6 o'clock my time, Las Vegas time, 6 p.m. Las Vegas time. And it's the way it's going to work is it's going to be a time thing. I'm going to do the live stream for an hour. I'm going to do the game for an hour, rather. And it might work out to about 30 rolls, might work out to about 40 rolls. I'm not too sure. We'll see how it goes. But it's going to be time. It's going to be an hour. Instead of the craps tournaments that they do down on the strip where it's 30 rolls, we're going to do an hour. So I want to make sure I have a finite time limit for this to start with. And then we will go from there. I'm going to find a way, either a Discord or a Zoom or a private chat room, some way for the players to be logged into something where I can communicate with them on my second computer so that they can tell me what their bets are, what they want to bet, what they want to press when something hits, without me having to scroll through the full chat of the live stream itself. I'm not going to be able to keep an eye on that, and if we have enough people watching and chatting, it could be difficult to keep an eye. So I have to figure that part out. Another reason I need the emails, so I can communicate back and forth with the potential players. So if you're interested, again, please email me. Eventually, just pretty much everybody's going to have an opportunity to be in on these things because we're going to do multiple ones. I'm also looking at probably doing a second craps tournament, maybe late Wednesday nights, possibly, I'm not sure, where I'm going to do it a little bit different. The second one is going to be, instead of 1 hour and then whoever's got the most chips is the winner, because those craps tournaments tend to have really weird strategies. They're not normal strategies that you'd see in normal play, because you're competing against other players and you just want to make sure you have more chips than them by the end. What I'm going to do with the second tournament is, instead of a weekly winner, we're going to play for an hour, and then I'll keep track of how much money people still have on there, or how many chips they still have. And then the next week, same players are going to keep going. Basically, this game will go until the bankrolls end, until we have one person with money left, or chips left. Again, there's no money involved in this. So once we have one final winner, so people will drop out as their play money bankrolls expire, as they run out of chips. So that one, I'm guessing we'll see some more normal strategies, the kind of things people actually play when they're actually playing craps. And then eventually we're going to add baccarat, pai gow, 3-card poker, blackjack, of course, to these tournaments. Whatever we can, to these live streams and live stream tournaments, whatever we can, when we can, as best we can. We're going to have to figure it out as we go. We have a lot of time constraints between me working full-time plus a child. But we're going to do the best we can. We're very, very excited to have this going. And we also will try and pick a day or time where I can do a patron exclusive tournament, or two. We'll see. We'll see how many of our patrons are interested, and see if we can't get that going as well, where it's only on the patron site. So definitely stay tuned, guys. Please, if you're interested in playing in one of the tournaments or partaking in our live streams, aside from just the chat, obviously it's a live stream, please watch, chat with us, let us know how it's going or what you think, and otherwise, please, again, email us, sincityliving.lv@gmail.com. Otherwise, I hope you guys are enjoying the videos. Any suggestions, please hit us up. Thank you guys very, very much. We appreciate every single one of you guys, and we will catch you guys next time.